Welcome everyone, welcome to Across the Universe 2. This is my second ever gaming charity tourney that I am hosting. Raising money once again for the American Kidney Fund. I am very excited to get this started. I have a ton of information to cover today, so I have some notes in front of me. Just like last time, I will do my best to make this intro quick and easy. First things first, I want to say a huge thank you to all of my tournament organizers, for without them, this tourney would have not been possible. Special thanks to WaffleMagik for once again developing an algorithm for making valid team pairings for this tourney, and I really do appreciate it because this was one of the biggest issues that I had when hosting something like this. Another huge thank you to my promotion team, as they were able to capture the vision I had for this event with some beautiful graphic designs and some stellar artwork. So thank you so much for capturing the vision I had for this project. Thank you for all the contributions towards this event. So please show them all some love if you haven't already, as they put insane levels of effort into this event for me. I will address them also by name shortly. Another special thanks to Dallin and Cyrena for crafting two amazing mods for this tourney. They were able to make two Kingdom Hearts mods, one of which is a custom Keyblade mod for Across the Universe. It's very, very neat. I will also be linking that shortly. And responsible for the other Kingdom Hearts mod, we had a custom skin developed for the Across the Universe event, including characters from Hollow Knight, Super Mario 64, Sonic, and it's all combobulated into this wonderful hodgepodge of mods, really. So I highly encourage people that are running this tourney to use those mods if they're playing Kingdom Hearts 2 in particular. Yes. So yeah, huge shout out to them for the work that they've done. Can't stress that enough. And thank you to everyone involved in the creation process for this entire event. The conceptualization and the overall work that went into this tourney is just it's huge. That's the best way I can put it. It's huge. And I am eternally grateful for all the small things and all the big things that came out for this. Yeah. And huge thank you, final thank yous, okay, to you guys, the viewers, for watching it and being interested in something like this, as I thought the idea was interesting, and apparently a bunch of other people too. So I really do appreciate the support that I've gotten for this throughout the 2 years that I've been hosting. So I've been super, super grateful for that. You guys are the backbone, really, of the entire event. So without you, it wouldn't even be possible. So I want to get into the meat and potatoes, if you will. My whole purpose for organizing something like this is to bring together various different game communities and uniting us all under one goal. And I think that message can be very powerful. So I want to have a positive impact on the communities, bringing them closer together. You know? With that being said, I wish all the racers the best of luck in the upcoming races. And I hope to see some wild stuff like we did last year. So a lot of people have been asking me since the first Across the Universe, why did you choose this charity cause? And the answer is a little bit complicated. I've had strong friends and family fight kidney disease in the past, and this has have a strong effect on me as I was close to some of these people. But what really led me into choosing this cause was something a bit more personal to me. I got to understand just how vital the kidney is for the human body. I got into a serious accident when I was about 16 years old, and I unfortunately got caught in the middle of your average New York City crime story. I was assaulted by some classmates at the time in high school, and things got physical. It was 2 people that were coming at me, both of which I knew, so it just seemed kind of stupid on their part. But either way, it was a 2-on-1 fight. I didn't really stand a chance. And for my physique at the time wasn't really favorable either. I was entering high school at about 4 feet tall, very skinny, very short. Comparatively, I'm now 6 feet tall, still skinny, still lean, but I definitely had my growth spurt. However, I did my best to fight off these people, and there was something I didn't really anticipate. One of them had a weapon on them, and it was a sharp, curated knife. And essentially, what happened was they hit me with it. And afterwards, the classmates ran away. As soon as this happened, I limped towards the school, which was only like about a block away. And there were some nearby people that saw me in pain and called 911, assisted for my help, which was really nice of them. Though by this time, my stamina had run its course, and I couldn't do anything but just kind of lie there. I was put into the back of a hospital car, and I was hardly able to breathe. That was pretty much what I recall the most. Before I knew it, I was in the emergency room with doctors, nurses, all that. And essentially, long story short, I had lost my kidney and my spleen as a result of this accident. I woke up in the hospital. I spent about a week in the hospital in agonizing pain. Yeah, it wasn't easy for me, but we made it through. The week went by. I remember living off of Jell-O snacks and water because of the impact that had happened. It actually cut a little bit into my stomach, just like a little slice, basically. And so the recovery process was a little difficult in that regard, as well as I would feel immense hunger throughout the day, being unable to eat besides just like Jell-O and water. But I only have some internal mental scars that will last me the rest of my life. So all in all, not too bad. And I don't have to get any like post-surgical treatment or anything along the lines of that. I don't have to like take any, I'm not handicapped in any sort of way. So I think that things came out pretty good for me. Either way, this is why I wanted to raise money for this charity fund in particular, to help those that are struggling with kidney problems or similar issues like this. As I, did my research and found out just how important, the kidney is to the human body. And I think that, raising awareness for people that don't have these parts or are struggling with problems with this organ can be really useful to them. I think it also goes to show, like raising money for any sort of cause to help a vital organ, or not so vital organ in this case, can be very useful for people. Anyways, that's kind of like the core of me hosting Across the Universe. I want to help people. I want to make a difference playing video games. And I think that that really is what my charity tourney is about, at least for me. And even if it's a small difference, even if we raise, not so much money, I still think every dollar counts. So I want to entertain and have a positive impact as many people as I can. Thank you guys for tuning in for this little baby intro. I will be going over some calendar information for Across the Universe, and I will be answering any sort of questions. So thank you for tuning in for this ambitious project that I have. As for team lineups and bracket info in particular, we are still working out some additional kinks for the algorithm. However, I will be sharing some calendar information and going over some new incentive information that I have for you guys today. So let me transition over to that. I have the calendar here. So this will be the calendar for the month of June for the races in Across the Universe 2. And it'll be approximately like 2 weeks, hopefully concluding on the weekend of the 17th latest, so we can make room for incentive planning and whatnot. But we will essentially have an organized way to have people make arrangements. I will have a certain way for people to arrange their races as the days come up, and I will be notifying specific racers of their pairings. So that'll be all addressed tomorrow in terms of that information. I have some ideas for when the incentives are going to go down, but I will need to coordinate that stuff with people as the days roll around and as the charity tourney commences. I will be addressing and updating this calendar in the Across the Universe Discord for information regarding the incentives. I have some references here for anything related to that in chat just now. Now, as for the bracket, you see that there's nothing here, but soon there will be. And that'll pretty much be my addressing of the bracket today. Okay? We don't exactly know we know exactly what's going to work, but we need to discuss with some people on some kinks to work some stuff out in that regard. But this will be posted tomorrow, so I will be letting you guys know the full information about the bracket tomorrow in its full glory. So any questions regarding the bracket or team pairings will be addressed tomorrow, just to reiterate. Cool. I will be showcasing some new incentives that we have here. Let me pull this up for you guys. Give me one moment. Okay. It just pulled it up. That's fine. Let me fix that. Beautiful. Okie doke. So this is all included in the Google document here as well. But if we scroll down to the incentives, we have some new incentives here. And I just kind of wanted to quickly go over the incentives in general, as I feel like I haven't really addressed it all too much. So this time around, we're going to switch up the incentives and have some that were present in the first Across the Universe that maybe didn't make it, and some new ones as well. So for the first incentive, we have a $500 milestone for the Deathlink incentive. And the Deathlink incentive is essentially the concept of, hey, if you die in the video game, all of your other friends that are playing with you are also going to die. So it can really make for some interesting gameplay, to say the least. I think that this Deathlink incentive idea, even though it's one of the lower tier incentives, I still think it's one of my personal favorites. And I think that having one person be the sole responsibility of, ending a run in Risk of Rain 2 or killing the person in Mario 64, it could make it very interesting for us to work together. And I remember last time there were some coordination about deaths Essentially, he's like, oh no, I think I'm gonna die. It's like, hold off on dying for like 0.2 seconds so I can get this star. And he created some interesting moments like this. They all die in real life? No. For the second incentive, the $1,000 incentive, we have Boss Enemy Bingo, aka Bunter. This is a game mode crafted by the one and only WaffleMagik, and it's essentially Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer bingo. A lot of you that are familiar with this, you'll already know how it is to play bingo, but if I need to explain it, there are tiles, and there will be a certain amount of these tiles. You have to essentially get the tiles cleared across the board, either clearing the entire board or getting a line in a row. So yeah, first to 3 bingos in this particular game mode will be winner. And I think it's a very fun, very challenging game mode because it randomizes the bosses in Kingdom Hearts 2. And as stated here, people tend to level early in order to get through the randomizer bosses. So a lot of people will take on some interesting grinding tactics in order to get leveled up early and take on these bosses. It was also a drinking game. Oh yes, I remember. That was also really good. That was a really fun concept. I think that we may include that as well in here if people are willing to, but I'm worried that maybe some people aren't comfortable. But we'll see. If everyone's comfortable, I think we can have that be a thing again, Coxie. For the next incentive, we have Nightmare Progression. Essentially what Nightmare Progression is, all of the checks will be pushed way later, essentially making it really hard for people to progress in the game in general. So it'll be a very interesting, super tough, super brutal challenge. And I'm curious to see some really talented players pull off something that I probably couldn't do. Drink for the kidneys. Exactly. Precisely. We have another incentive here crafted by the wonderful WaffleMagik. And this game mode is essentially Kingdom Hearts 2, but Battleship. So the goal is to sink all of your opponent's ship before you do. And the ships are placed on a big board with important checks. And so this makes it very interesting. So you can have your battleship set up on a specific set of bosses. And it'll make it so that the person who's hunting for the bosses is trying to get that battleship sunk, which I think is a very interesting concept. A very cool, fresh game mode for the Kingdom Hearts 2 rando community. So huge shout out. I'm going to give him a shout out here in chat for Roro for coming up with such awesome game modes for the community, for real. At the 2,500 mark, we have the massive community multi-world rando. So this is essentially going to be a huge archipelago event where everyone can join, everyone can make their own, gammels and games, and it'll be really free form, and it'll be just a giant community multi-world archipelago with everybody in the mix. Anyone who's willing to and able to is going to be thrown into the mix. And I think that'll be a really fun one to coordinate and to pull off. These are all the incentives I have for now. So yeah, I think these are some pretty good choices with some pretty interesting game modes to show off. And I'm really excited to hit even one of these milestones because all of them sound like a fun time. I will have a charity raffle as well. So essentially donating gives you 1 entry to the raffle, and I'll be giving away copies of the games being played on throughout this tournament. I will be giving away these digital copies of these games. Now that Kingdom Hearts is actually coming to Steam, I might make this a Steam copy so that it is easier for me to do this. But either way, this will essentially remain the same, and I want to give away some of these games to the community for people who haven't played any of these wonderful games. You know, I would want it on Steam. I think that's gonna be my thing. I can change that right now. I'll just do Steam. We'll fix that here in real time. Okay. I think that'll be really good, and we'll give away probably the Hollow Knights first, and then the Sonic Adventures 2 to ensure that these copies will be out on Steam by that point. And that is essentially all of the new information. A lot of the old information is essentially here and ready to go. If you need any more further information for Across the Universe, I will be again linking something in chat for you guys to look over this document as well in your own free time. And that is essentially it. Do you guys have any questions for this concept in general? Do you guys have any questions for this event? I think that it's going to be a really fun time. I have been nervous all morning prepping for this. And honestly, I think it's going to be a really fun time. It's going to be really fun for everyone involved. Currently rendering. Beautiful. A lot of the information you need will be here provided in this document. However, if you're unsure, please join the Discord and ping a tournament organizer or moderator so that your questions can be addressed directly there. Or DM me directly if you feel comfortable enough to do so. I will get back to you when I get back to you. Yeah. I think that concludes things for that. I realize that having multiple games and having more games in the archipelago to organize something like this makes it really difficult. So probably in the future, I will be reducing the game count even further to make things easier on our end to organize. Because honestly, having the valid pairings based on the games you're playing is a very huge hurdle in creating something like this. Maybe a poll for what people games want. I think that'll be very good. I'll do a poll throughout this entire tourney and even extending into probably maybe the end of the year so that we can have a huge wide range of it. And then when that's concluded, I'll start initiating some plans for how that can be done based off the top 3 games maybe chosen. I think that seems fair. Now it'd only be 1.5 plus 2.5 being given away. Yes, it would only be giving away 1.5 plus 2.5 as that's the game that we'll be playing in this tournament. It'll be Kingdom Hearts 2. So we will be giving away that game and all other games that come with 1.5 plus 2.5 remix on Steam. So that comes with Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and the 2 movies for 358 by 2 days and Recoded. How does the variety of the games runner? I think that right now the variety we have is pretty solid. We do have an overwhelmingly majority KH2 players, but I think that it won't be too much to the point where it'll only be KH content on screen. We have a sufficient amount of Hollow Knight and Super Mario 64 players thrown into the mix. So I think that we'll at least have a 1 Kingdom Hearts player probably per race, and then the others will be a mix of Super Mario 64, Hollow Knight, and possibly Sonic Adventure 2. However, it does depend on what the runners are willing to play on that day of the tourney, on the day of the race, sorry. Because things could change. It could be that maybe a racer feels more comfortable running Super Mario 64 and Hollow Knight, so we might not even get any Kingdom Hearts in that instance. Is that Sora render from Smash Ultimate? Yes, it is. It is ripped directly from Smash Ultimate. It's a taunt. Where he goes, "Here we go!" But yeah, guys. I'll essentially conclude things here soon, in about maybe 15 minutes or so, and I will close the stream and reopen it so I can continue my regularly scheduled programming. As I do want to capture this VOD and save it for myself, record purposes. So if anyone has any additional questions, I'll address them here. I'll probably stick around for 5-10 minutes discussing more of the event, and then I will transition into my regularly scheduled stream. I'm gonna bring back up the window capture here, as something I want to address. Since Kingdom Hearts will be coming to Steam on June 13th, there will be some changes to the archipelago. This is something I want everyone to be aware of as well, that there will be some changes to the archipelago. So during this time, we will encourage people to update their archipelago randomizer, everything involved, because this coming to Steam, it will change things. Something to keep in mind for the Kingdom Hearts runners in particular, since we do know that it is coming soon and that it will change things. So we will encourage people that are at that point, maybe the semifinals, probably by that point, or finals, just be wary of the potential update that will be coming. There will be downtime during that too. Exactly. Okay. Okay. Some of the rules for the tournament are essentially very beginner friendly. So this tourney, I don't expect to see very many pro plays or pro strategies, but I think that's a lot of the fun in hosting something like a beginner tournament, is that you get to see some people that aren't, you know, as knowledgeable in the game pull off some. Whoa! Thank you so much for the heal. It really does impress me to see people like, I think, Gato / Fish last year pulling off some insane pufferfish strategies on that ridiculous run that he was running. And I think that clip is probably one of the more viewed clips on my channel. Thank you, Quest, for the heal. I really do appreciate that. So for Kingdom Hearts 2, we will have a lot of restrictions in that time. So thank you so much for all the people that helped me tweak the settings as well, because this was something that was a small hurdle in crafting a beginner-centric multi-world tournament. That was one of the hurdles. So thank you for people who helped tweak the settings in not only Kingdom Hearts, but Super Mario 64, Hollow Knight, and Sonic Adventure 2. As for Hollow Knight and Sonic Adventure 2 and Kingdom Hearts are the games that I'm the most familiar with. So having some insight in how some pro strategies are utilized in Super Mario 64 was very interesting to listen to. And I think watching people do these runs during the tournament will be very interesting to see how they navigate with all these restrictions, so to speak. Yeah, this is pretty much all you need to know for the tournament, basic raw information. I will be keeping you guys updated in both my personal server and the Across the Universe Discord server for any new news related to Across the Universe and whatnot. So there will be a stream tomorrow, just letting you guys know as well. There will be a stream tomorrow addressing the bracket information and the lineups. So I hope you guys look forward to that. That being said, yeah, I'll be wrapping up here. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of interesting plays, because last year we had not only Gato / Fish, but we had some awesome plays in Super Mario 64 by Arthur. We had some awesome gameplay in Kingdom Hearts from Crazy Comics and Roro Maniac. We had some awesome Sonic Adventure 2 shenanigans coming from Warehouse Jesus. So honestly, I'm really looking forward to see who are going to be the people that shine the most in that regard. There's not really much else I can really go over. I will be hosting as well for the racers in particular. It'll be a similar setup to the first Across the Universe, and it'll be a double elim setup, and it will also use Racetime GG and LiveSplit in order to coordinate that. Can't wait for DK64 Archipelago. Honestly, I've seen some randomizers for Donkey Kong 64 and they are insane. If it does come to Archipelago, I think that'll be very, very interesting. Again, to reiterate for the racers, this event will be streamed on your end. So for people that need help setting up stream-related technical difficulties, we have a channel in the Across the Universe Discord under ATU support for any technical difficulties setting up the Archipelago, setting up your stream, setting up anything to do with the randomizer. That'll all be addressed in there. So if you guys need help setting that up, there is a place for it. Just simply ping a TO or a moderator in that channel, and we will address the technical issues to the best of our ability. They got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask almost playable now. That is amazing. And they're throwing it into the Archipelago. Tell me about some upcoming Archipelago games. Maybe we'll be able to include them in next year's tourney. Another thing to address in terms of the settings will be the hint system. There will be a 15% hit cost in all of the games present during this tourney. So essentially what that means is that 15%, once you get 15% of all checks possible in your game, you will receive one hint. And you can hint any item in the game, including the items you need to beat the game, like the Proof of Peace and the Chaos Emeralds. So you can use this and create some interesting strategic advantages here. Monster Sanctuary. Monster Sanctuary is a pretty good game. It's like a Pokemon indie game. I'm glad that they're also not only bringing mainstream games to the Archipelago, but they're bringing indie games as well to the Archipelago. I think that shines a light on these indie games, because some of the games in the Archipelago list I haven't even heard of until I saw the Archipelago list. So I think this will be awesome. If you guys have any ideas for future incentives as well, please let us know in the Across the Universe Discord, as that'll be super useful for formulating any future incentives. I hope you guys enjoy Across the Universe too. I hope we raise a lot of money and we raise a bunch of awareness for this, because I'm really excited. I am really excited. Paper Mario is playable. Paper Mario 64, yeah? All of the links you need are going to be here in this info doc. I'm going to also double link the info doc here in chat for anyone that wants to look over this themselves once again. There are a bunch of resources here for setups, explanations, for all that stuff. So even if you are a brand new racer that you signed up for this event and you have no idea what's going on, all of the information is here and all of the resources are here at your disposal. This was the roadmap we had. The calendar is also present here at the bottom, as well as a special thanks for everyone that contributed directly. So thank you. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. The YAMLs are present here as well, so if you want to practice racers before the first race undergoes, you have a small, slim amount of time to practice at this time. And these will be accessed here, so you can grab them directly from here. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. If you need, again, any sort of technical help, please join the Discord and refer to the support chat, as people there will be able to help you. So, depending on how things go with this tournament, the incentives may carry on into July, but I will be updating you guys on a calendar with that as well. That being said, oh, I closed it. Oopsie daisy. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy this tourney. For real. Any other questions that I can address right here on stream that you think might be important, please let me know now. Jak and Daxter Mega Man X is playable. Oh, I didn't know that one. Oh, they have a bunch of games in beta right now that I have not seen. So honestly, like the potential for Archipelago keeps growing every day, and I think that that's part of the reason why I wanted to host something like this, you know? Make people aware of something like this. Cage 1 Deathlink as well. Where's Cage 2 Deathlink? Hope that's added before it comes to Steam, yeah? Anyways, yeah, that'll conclude this portion of the stream today, guys. I really, really do appreciate everyone who stopped by and tuned in for this part. Love you guys, and looking forward to the tourney. I will be ending the stream here, and we'll be rebooting in about a second so that I can capture this VOD on its own. So thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in a little bit, okay?